right, all right. Well, I'm out here. A guy just dropped off a pressure washer and said that it was the pull rope was stuck or something, having a hard time pulling it. So let's check that out today. I mean, it could be a number of things, right? But let's take a look at it. Well, all right. So I have worked on this one before. I think I cleaned the carburetor out for him, and it was running great. You can see it's in great condition. But he was saying having a hard time. Oh, let's see. I'm going to leave it off for now. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I see what he means. So there's a lot of compression. And I don't think that it's the actual line that's sticking. It feels like it's some kind of hydrolock somewhere, either here at the spark plug in the cylinder or at the pump back here. I don't think there's any pressure. Doesn't feel like it. Let me go ahead and disconnect it just to make sure. Yeah, that thing is not wanting to turn. Wow. Alright, well, let's, I hope it's not the pump, as this thing looks really in good shape. But that happens sometimes if the pump's going out like that. Oh, look at that. Damn. Let me show you what just happened here. See the oil. It's full of gas. Wow. Okay, well, it's probably a hydrostatic lock, a hydrolock here in the cylinder behind the spark plug. Let me get something. I'll go ahead and drain the rest of this out. Maybe I'll try to drain it from this side. There it blows. Man, that was full. Yeah, it smells like gas. Okay, well, I'm killing another patch of grass here. And I'm going to pull on the pull rope here. The cylinder must still be full, and I will take the spark plug out. Alright, I'm going to take the spark plug off. See if it sprays any more stuff out of the cylinder. Wow. Definitely wet. Let's see what comes out of there. sprayed a lot out of there. Yeah, so that wasn't good, was it? So I drained the crankcase. It was definitely some gas. I mean, it was full of gas, actually, not some. And spewed out what I could, you know, behind the spark plug in the cylinder. And I'm going to leave it open like this for a while before I add any. I'll let it try to dry off. I'll add some more oil into it, and then I'm going to check out the carburetor and see if we can find out where it was leaking. I mean, because it just completely filled, right? And if I don't see anything, because you can see on this is a Honda clone, it looks like, and it has the fuel shutoff right here, and there's the choke, or vice versa. This is the choke, this is the fuel shutoff, and everything was just wide open, right? So find out where it's leaking from. Maybe the bowl was getting stuck, who knows. But I'm going to definitely tell them, just to make sure, go ahead and cut the fuel off after every time you use it, which is a good practice anyway, right? But in this case, we need to find out what's going on. Alright, so while everything's drying out, I'm going to go ahead and take the carburetor off and see if we can tell. Maybe the float was stuck, you know, and because if it's stuck downwards, if it never raises up, it's just going to keep flowing, and that's how it usually floods the crankcase, like that. But I could tell when I was pulling it, I could tell it wasn't the line stuck. It was a hydrolock somewhere. And it either could be at the cylinder like it was, or sometimes the pump in the rear, if those start to freeze up. If that freezes up, then it's hard for the crankshaft to move, and you feel it here when you're trying to pull it. But that's exactly what happened. Let's see if we can find the cause. Well, it wasn't gas on that. It was a little wet, but that feels like water. Alright, so I want to see if I can't get take the bowl off first and just be real gentle with it and see if I could feel what the float is doing before I take this whole thing off. Okay, still full of gas. And it's still pretty clean. Well, the float looks like it's still working. You see when I let it off, gas will flow. And that's all the way up. And I can start letting it down. Yeah, so it's shutting off. That's kind of strange, isn't it? You know what? I'm going to go ahead and take the carburetor off now. Because with the fuel line shut off, it shouldn't be dripping, right? The float is still stopping it, but when I let the float off, I think this should be stopping it here too. So, alright. Let me seal this back off. go. So why is this not cutting off the fuel? So I'm going to take this little cap off, see what we can see. There's a little thrust washer. Couldn't spit it out. I have to get my glasses. I can't. You see, it's kind of deformed in there. I need a little pick and my glasses, and we'll see if we can take that little seal off. So if you can see that in there, you can see how it's all deformed and kind of mangled up right here. I wonder if that is the problem. Let me see if I can get it out of there without tearing it up. Yeah, let's clean some of that junk out of there. And it looks like I can rotate this around. The holes look like the same size. Yeah, so I'll put it in that way, so between these two holes there'll be a nice seal. This side's kind of mangled up, but first I'm going to get a wire brush and get some of that deposit stuff out of there. It's getting a lot of it. There's some in it, tight places in there. Alright, that's much better. Now let me blow through this. Alright. So far so good. Let's see, so let's put the tattered end over on this side. So there we go, if you can see that. Should be a better seal there now. And that's how it fits in there. So that's just a little slot, you can see. When it's way over here, it's open. Back here you see the way the slot's closed. It just shuts off one of the pipes there. Yeah, it's kind of strange. I haven't seen too many like this. Usually there's it's a little cavity underneath it and you can take it out, and sometimes there's even a little screen filter in it. But here it looks like sooner or later that thing's gonna mangle up just like this side did. So there should be a pretty good seal now. Hopefully it will last a little while. And that thrust washer really puts a tight seal on it, doesn't it? Alright, there we go. Alright, that should seal it. So, that's one. I'm going to go ahead and take the float off. Yeah, the little needle is looks like no problems, huh? Alright, well let's hook it back up, make sure this is sealing off, and check the float again. Alright, there's no fuel flowing. That's a good sign. Now what? Let's I'm gonna hold the bowl and open the fuel line. Alright, so far so good. There it goes. Alright, looks like it's working. So now when I shut this off, yeah. Well, that looks to have done the trick there. And I'm still surprised that that it's still filled with gas, because the float seems like it's working, right? Before and after, so. But I'll just tell them whenever you're done, make sure you have this in the off position. But, alright, let's get it all connected and get some oil in this thing. Alright, well, we got gas in there. Let's turn the gas on. Choke is on. Oil in it. Let's turn that on. Let's see if we can get this sucker cranking. I gotta pull left-handed. My right shoulder is shot. No problem. I don't want to run it too long without water hooked up to it. Let's see, what should we check? Everything seems to be working fine. I'm still paranoid about this, even, you know, just have to make sure we shut that down. So I guess that's it. You know, I checked the carburetor. Cleaned out, got the fuel shutoff valve working again the way it should. I'm still kind of paranoid because the float seemed like it was working okay, right? And usually that's the telltale sign. If the float's not working, if it's not closing, then your cylinder could fill up just like this one did. But it seems to be working fine now. I'll double check it here in a minute. I'm going to turn on the gas, just turn everything on, and then check the oil. And I know the level of the oil, so if it increases or you can smell gas in it, then I know it's not fixed yet. But at least we narrowed it down, we know what's going on. And that's a telltale sign when you're sitting there pulling it like that. It wasn't the line snagging. You can tell it's snagging on the compression stroke, right? And it's hard to pull. So it either could be hydrolock in the cylinder, which it was in this case, or it could be on the pump. If the pump starts to freeze up, then it's hard for the crankshaft to turn, and you get the same effect, right? But hopefully that solved the problem. I'll check it again, but I guess that's it for this video. So thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and watch for my next video.